welcome back to House of Papillons, or if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad you found us. Glad you decided to join us. It's March. Can you all believe it's March? We just started this whole sort of little back to basics series in January, and it's already March. My mind is blown. Anyway, this is the March edition, or the third edition of this Back to Basics series. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm taking this same, I think it's called the diamond mold from Laura's Art Corner. Check out her website if you haven't yet. She's a wonderful source for just some absolutely gorgeous things. But what I did was, somebody that I know from work said to me she wanted to get into resin, and she said, you know, I wish you'd do some just basic beginner types of projects, because she, in her words, that's what we're all looking for. And I think she meant, you know, she and her friends. So I decided that, you know, once a month I'm going to do something that's basic, and then each month we'll try and do something different to it to expand your knowledge. So we started with the garnet. That was one basic pour, and I talked about how to heat your resin to reduce bubbles, how to use one-to-one resin, and that's what we're going to focus on throughout this whole series, is one-to-one basic resin. Because the one thing that really can get confusing is all the different types of resin and which situation you use them in. And I feel like the way to sort of start this craft, if you're interested in it, is to just start something basic, because mixing the way that I'm mixing, doing this basic pour, coloring and colorants that you can use, and this one was the February one, and what we did it in an ombre. We did it in a gradient. So the top of this is very pale. I wanted to be able to see all those facets down through there. So we did pale, a little bit darker, and a little bit darker, and that's what it turned out to be. Just gorgeous. So the way that the methods that we're using can be applied to thousands of molds. Just, I mean, the sky is the limit. You just, you know, learn the principles, let your creativity flow. So this month I'm doing these in the birthstones of the month that we're in. Easy way to say that. So if you haven't seen the first one and you're new to doing resin, go back and watch this first one, because it's going to tell you all the principles leading up to what we need to do when we're going to actually create the project. So today is Aquamarine. So pretty, such a pretty stone. And Aquamarine is the palest blue. You can find some Aquamarine is more in the aqua range. Some Aquamarine is very pale. Now, these are polished chips of aquamarine, of real aquamarine. And today's tutorial, or today's lesson, is going to be how to add inclusions into a project. So, you know, we've done basic color, we've done an ombre, showed you how to do that, and now or a gradient type of effect. Now we're going to add things into the project. So we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to pour. I'm not sure how high I'm going to pour just yet. I need to wait and kind of feel that out. But what I did to get the color, I wasn't sure if I was going to go for a real, because I want this to be, you know, a whisper of blue. I don't want it to be real dark. I don't want it to be like this darkest, you know, stone in here. I want it to be, you know, more like deep pale, really pale, because eventually we're going to want to see these. So I'm going for pale. So what I did was I went near a sink and I took just a cup of water, and I put like 2 ounces in it. I took every blue alcohol ink and dye, resin dye that I had. And I would just put it in there, stir it around, and see how well it matched this. Now, since these are a bunch of different shades of blue, I'm hoping that this is Ocean. The color is called Ocean. It's by Pixis. And it was the closest. I don't think it really matches, definitely. But it is the closest that I had. Don't go and spend, actually, you know what, there's a much greener, see, that's more like the color, and actually that's really, we'll see when I mix it up. Don't go and spend gazillions of dollars on all of these products until you're sure that it's a direction you want to go in. Get yourself, you know, if you want to get into alcohol inks, get yourself a basic alcohol ink set. As you saw when I made the garnet, I mixed a bunch of colors to get that garnet. There are just, I can't even tell you the number of pigments and inks and pastes and, you know, all the things. And this is an expensive hobby. And your resin alone, you know, there are lots of people, because of budget, well, me included, I'm not thrilled when something doesn't work out. I don't like to waste my resin. I don't like to do a whole pour, wait 24 hours, and then you want to, and it's really, really bad. So, you know, start out, you know, get some molds that interest you, maybe one or two of them that you can reuse, just like I'm doing this mold. This mold was only, I want to say $6. It's not that expensive at Laura's Art Corner, and she ships things really, really fast. So if, you know, if this mold is something you're interested in, check her out. I'm not affiliated. I'm just a fan. So, you know, try and, you don't have to just totally break your budget to get into this hobby. You know, get yourself a basic set of alcohol inks, you know, that has a rainbow of colors. You only use a few drops at a time, and, you know, for any project. And, you know, maybe a set of mica powders. Don't worry about pastes for now if you're beginner. And, you know, build up. Just sort of build up. So let me shut up and get to mixing the color. So anytime you use an alcohol ink or any of the resin dyes, you have to mix them up, because they tend to, all the actual pigment sometimes drops to the bottom. I'm going to start with one drop. You know how I am. You start small and you keep building. Let me get a towel here. So each time I pick that bottle up, I'm going to shake it again. And sometimes with alcohol, well, all the time with alcohol ink, it'll come against the side of the cup. And so you just want to scrape your stick against the edge and get that off and get it incorporated in your resin. Guess it probably would have been smart to not have a the base of the thing, the base of what we're mixing on, the same color. Let me find something white. Okay, that's not the best looking thing, but now see, that is a little more green, but if I put that one up next to it, that pretty much matches. Can y'all see that? Let me see what you see. Do you see what I see? Let's put it next to it. And that is pale, pale, pale. Pale, pale, pale is what we're going for. See, when I know this looks more green, but that's going to give it a more blue. And then I'm sort of hoping when you see these up through there, that will be that aquamarine. I found in my stash. It is color pigment, and this is in light blue. Now, I don't want to douse it, so what I'm going to do, see, now we're getting, oh, it's way more blue in the bottom. Wait a minute. I think we might be, I like to just keep messing with something to figure it out. This, there's a blue sheen, and I really think that once we get it in there and those facety things shine up in there, I think it's going to be a pretty aquamarine likeness. Okay, I'm putting this in the bubble remover, and I'll see you in just a couple, well, seconds. Okay, this is nice and cool here and bubble free, mostly. Way high, and I am going to go over this thing in the middle. Now see how when it's that thin, it looks more like that color when it's not as deep. I don't know. I think we're creating our own color of because they do. They come in, some look like a swimming pool, you know. Some are more aqua in color. Either way. Yes, please. Bring them on, is what I say. So now we're up to this. Not quite. Now we're up to this juncture here where it levels off. And I do think that I want it to go even higher than I think that might be good, because right now it's roughly, let's see, it's not quite to where, oh man, look how I've splashed stuff all over this. This poor, this poor thing. It's by December, it's going to be a real splotchy mess. It's not quite to there. It's, well, it might be ish. It's like here, and I think that's good. Now, what I am going to do at this point, since I still have this resin on this flat part, I'm not sure where, how do I say this? The next layer is going to have this in it, and I'm not sure that I have enough of this to fill the whole thing. So we may have a third layer, but I do want these stones to be on this bottom, and that's what this is. So since I've already poured resin on that, I'm going to fill that up with some stones and let that, you know, just cure as it is. Because even if I end up not having enough to completely fill this whole cavity here, I do have enough to make the bottom. And that's what we're gonna do. And I'm just laying them down flat. Boy, these are really pale, aren't they? you know, in comparison to white. And it would be really nice if I do have enough to completely, you know, engulf all the way around this, because that's what's going to give it that aquamarine color, you know, give the whole thing the aquamarine color. And I'm trying to mix up these stones because they're not all the same shade. They're not even, I mean, they're all in the blue family, but they're not. Some are pale blue. See, that one's more of a green blue. So I want to make sure that I've got. Now I'm not going to be this precious about it when I mix, you know, when I do the final or the next layer. I'm not going to take, you know, a million years to put this stuff in here, but oh, that looks like a heart. How adorable. Our first layer is cured, and this is all hard on top. And what I'm going to do next is split. I have 4 ounces mixed. This is not going to take nearly 4 ounces, but I have 4 ounces split, and I ran it through the debubbler. And I'm just going to put 3 ounces in here ish. I think that's going to be good. That's probably almost 2.5 ounces in this cup. And then I'm going to mix in these aquamarine stones. Whenever you add something into a mold, especially something that you want to go, I'm trying to take pieces out that I see. See how that has a little bit of like debris or something on it? Whenever you mix something in that you want to totally fill the piece, what you're going to do is you've got to saturate it first, because if I were to just put those stones down in there and then pour the resin, there's a chance that some of the stones will not be covered, and there's a chance that, you know, 1 or 2 or more can seal up against the mold and then not let the resin behind it, so you can end up with some holes and things in there, and we definitely don't want that. So I am making sure that these stones are well incorporated into the resin. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of, well, I need a different tool. I think this might be good. These are just from Dollar Tree, these little silicone. Look around your local Dollar Tree, like I said, for tools. These are silicone tools that you can find in the kitchen section. And they're really good for resin sometimes. Now I just also, when you incorporate inclusions, it incorporates bubbles. So where I already debubbled this, bubbles are in here. I am hoping that this is thin enough that it's going to not let the bubbles, I'm sorry, it's going to let the bubbles disappear. One can only hope. And then I am not sure if I have enough stones to actually fill this. So what will happen is the stones they're heavy, so they're going to land down against that first cured level and hopefully make, you know, a nice pretty row of stones that we will then we'll do another layer, or what will be on top, which will really be the bottom, because remember we're pouring upside down. What will end up being the bottom will be just the clear resin. Okay, now everything's getting in the way here. Let's see. I'm just going to sort of gently push them where they're supposed to go, or where I want them to go. This is kind of, I like doing this because it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little soothing. Now, where I already put that row of stones at the top, or on this, you know, bottom of the candle holder part, I'm hoping, well, I should say, that has already made that kind of thick. So I'm making sure, trying to make sure, that whatever lands on that, I've got it, you know, I've got whatever stones land, I've got them dislodged and pushed down into the thing, because I think if I have more, it's going to make them, let's see where I'm scraping. I think I'm scraping some of them off. It'll make it too high. So I've got to make sure to get them down in there. And guess what? This filled this up. I filled this up, which is good. All good news. And I'm going to let this cure, and I'll be back. And we're back to take a look at this. So excited. Now, after learning the last time, just have to get a little edge. When you dome something, ooh, that was easy. When you dome something, sometimes you have to get a little bit of an edge. And I over-domed it. Doming has to be not that much, just enough. But that will literally peel off like a piece of paper. It will not hinder our project. Oop, glove stuck in the thing. I don't know why when they make small gloves, they don't make the fingers small too. I have that, it's a question in my mind. It's not just my hand, it's my fingers too. Oh, wait a minute. You know the rules. I have to fix the mold. Don't look. I have to fix the mold. Nobody look, nobody look. Those are the rules. Come on now. Okay, all fixed. It's beautiful. Oh, that stone had a little inclusion in it. Look, what do you think? I need something white. second. I need something white. Well, here's a mold that needs clean, but it's white. Look at it. Look at our stones down in there. Gorgeous, gorgeous. See how we can see where this layer didn't have stones in it? And the stones are all in the bottom. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. So that's how you add inclusions in that you want a whole layer or more. You want the whole thing to have something in it, stones or something. Oh, there's a bunch of them that have little carbon or something in there. That's okay. Mother Nature said she wanted them in there. I don't see any bubbles, which is a good thing. Here's the bottom. And this, literally, it'll break off like it's nothing. I'll do that. I'll do that once it's completely cured. I love it. If you've been here since the beginning, really, really appreciate it more than you ever would know. And please like and subscribe, and that way we can do all of these effects from the beginning. We've gone back to the beginning of doing resin. So please let me know your thoughts about the project, that is. And next month is April, which is the diamond. Oh, I already have plans for it. And please think of a way to make your day creative. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.